Hello guys, now we are learning about the types of SDLC, which is model. Now in this types of SDLC model, there is a 7 types of SDLC model. We are learning about that. First one is a waterfall model, second one is a spiral model, third one is a rapid application development model, which is a RAD model. Fourth one is the iterative or increment model, we can say that. Fifth one is a prototype model. Sixth one is a V model, and seven is a agile model. Nowadays, in our organization or rapidly growth organization are used agile methodology, or we can say agile model. So in that types of models, the most popular is agile model. First, we can learn about the type of waterfall model. So we are learning about the waterfall model. In this waterfall model is the most one of the earliest and most commonly used software development model, which is we can say that process like from gathering information to the up to the maintenance phase, that is the process in which development process looks like the flow, moving step by steps through the phases like analysis, from requirement analysis, designing, coding, testing, deployment, installation, and we can set support. It is known as also the maintenance. So it is known as the linear sequential model, also known as the linear sequential model, because because linear sequential model for the they will after the one stage complete, they will be followed next stage. So we can say that linear sequential model in this SDLC models, including gradual execution of every stage complete. This process is strictly documented and predefined, with features expected for every phase of the software development lifecycle. In that, we can say that requirement analysis, system designing, implementation, testing, each and every phase are first we can complete that requirement analysis. PA will be gather whole information from the client side, then they will the system designer or system senior architecture will design that system design. Then after the implementation part comes, where the developers are sitting and implement whole that process of that SDLC. Then after the testing, the tester will be test whole the application from front end to last. So then after the deployment, each and every complete step that the product will be deployed to the server. Then after the maintenance, then whole team will be maintain that software, we can say that. Now we are learning seeing about the advantages of waterfall model. In that, simple, easy to understand and use, then easy to implement because it's linear process. Then since requirement changes are not allowed, then the changes of finding bugs will be less. Initial investment is less than the tester are hired at the lateral stage, prepared for small projects where requirement are frozen. ये जो वाटरफॉल मॉडल है वो छोटे प्रोडक्ट के लिए और छोटे प्रोजेक्ट के लिए यूज किया जाता है. वी कैन सेट दैट some any kind of small project where the requirement also less, and the development team get more 1 to 3 months to complete that project. So that requirement also frozen, we can say that. So easy to understand. Then disadvantage of that waterfall model: requirement changes are not allowed. Yes, in that waterfall model, requirement changes are not allowed when the client have some any upgraded version. So they will not allow to that upgraded version. If there is a defect in the requirement, that will be continue in lateral phase. Poor model for a long or ongoing project, we can say that. Testing will be start only after the coding phase. Total investment is more because the rework was done due to defects. जिसका मतलब है कि टोटल कॉस्ट जो है मोर लगती है ये स्मॉल प्रोजेक्ट में, बिकॉज उसमें जो भी बग्स आते हैं उसको रीवर्क करने के लिए जो भी टेस्टर को एक दिन के लिए भी बैठा हो तो काम करने के लिए उसको उतना ही सैलरी देना पड़ता है, सो टोटल वर्क विल बी, total investment will be more. Then where we can use that waterfall model. The requirement are preciously documented, जिसका मतलब है कि हमें पहले से पता हो और छोटी से छोटी रिक्वायरमेंट वो डॉक्यूमेंटेड हो, जो लिखी हो उसके ही हिसाब से काम करेंगे। प्रोडक्ट डेफिनेशन इज स्टेबल, जो प्रोडक्ट है वो पूरा स्टेबल होना चाहिए, कहीं उसमें चेंजेस नहीं होना चाहिए, ना अपग्रेडेड वर्जन होना चाहिए, सो वी कैन यूज दैट वाटरफॉल मॉडल। द टेक्नोलॉजी स्टैक इज प्रीडिफाइंड which makes is not dynamic. Then after the no ambiguous or we can say that doubtful requirements, जैसा भी कुछ भी doubtful होता है उसमें हम हाथ नहीं डालते। Then the project is short. Yes. Now we are learning about the spiral model, which is called as pre-model also. Spiral model is also known as the iterative model. It is a combination of prototype and waterfall model. It is an upgraded version of that waterfall model. Spiral model is mostly used in a high risk project. It is used to requirement is larger, also unclear and complex. ये जो प्रोजेक्ट होता है वो जिसके बारे में आइडिया क्लियर नहीं होती और कॉम्प्लेक्स प्रोजेक्ट के लिए वी कैन से दैट लाइक अ बैंकिंग प्रोजेक्ट वगैरह जो भी होते हैं बैंकिंग, जिसमें सामने वाले की रिक्वायरमेंट क्या होती है वो क्लियर नहीं होती है और वो कॉम्प्लेक्स होता है, बहुत सारे कॉम्प्लिकेशन आते हैं उसमें भी, जैसा उनके कैलकुलेशन से लेके जहाँ तक पूरे फाइंड आउट करने तक का परसेंट से लेके सभी, तो उसमें कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी उसमें डिफाइन कर सकते हैं। ये स्पाइरल मॉडल यूज किया जाता है। स्पाइरल मॉडल ओवरकम्स ड्रॉबैक्स ऑफ वाटरफॉल मॉडल, जिसमें वो जो भी रिक्वायरमेंट है वो बाद में नहीं लिखता है, सो ये ओवरकम करता है, जिसमें प्लानिंग, रिस्क एनालिसिस, इंजीनियरिंग एंड इवोल्यूशन आर दिस फोर मोस्ट स्टेज जो कंसिस्ट होती है। इन एवरी साइकिल न्यू सॉफ्टवेयर मॉड्यूल वर्जन विल बी रिलीज to that customer. Software will be released in multiple versions, so it will be called as a version control model also. See that prototype one, or we can say that if requirement will be clear or requirement will be that plan, that objectives or identifying alternative will be goes on to prototype one, then after the prototype two, then prototype three. After the completion prototype one, they will be goes to prototype two, because they will be plan, designing, test, coding, testing, release. That will be parts are on that spiral model, round by round, moving. Then after that risk analysis or resolving parts, most of the important phase. Then develop the develop to the next level of that product are comes, we can say that. Now stages. In that stages, planning objective or identifying alternative solution. In this stage, requirements are collected from customers, and then the aims are to recognize and analysis at the beginning of developing that project. At the iterative round is more than one, then an alternative solution is proposed to same quadrant, जिसका मतलब है कि अगर उसमें प्लानिंग क्लियर ना हो या उसके एम्स क्लियर ना हो तो एक ही इसमें प्रोटोटाइप वन में ही घूमते रहेगा, प्रोटोटाइप टू में नहीं जाएगा। जो भी कंप्लीशन है वो कंप्लीट होने के बाद में ही प्रोटोटाइप टू में जाएगा। उसके बाद आता है रिस्क एनालिसिस एंड रिसॉल्विंग। एट द प्रोसेस गोज टू द सेकेंड क्वाड्रेंट, ऑल लाइकली सॉल्यूशन आर स्केच्ड। जो भी सॉल्यूशन है सेकंड क्वाड्रेंट का वो पहले से ही स्केच्ड होता है। देन द आफ्टर द बेस्ट सॉल्यूशन अमंग द देन गेट सिलेक्टेड। जो भी पूरा जो भी प्रोजेक्ट है वो पूरा कंप्लीट होने के बाद में वो सेकंड स्टेज में जाएगा। देन द डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ रिस्क लिंक्ड विद द चोजन सॉल्यूशन आर रिकॉग्नाइज्ड एंड रिसॉल्व्ड थ्रू द बेस्ट पॉसिबल अप्रोच। As the spiral goes to the ends of this quadrant, a project prototype is put up to the most excellent and likely solution. Develop the next level of product. As the development progress goes to the third quadrant, they will know the most required features are developed as well as verified that testing methodologies. Like after the coding phase, they will be testing that product, or we can say that project. Then those methodology testing methodologies are comes like that spiral, waterfall. We can say that methodologies are moving to the third quadrant, and new software of that next version, which will be upgraded requirement, will be existing with that software is ready to deliver. We can say that the next phase, the development process proceed to the fourth quadrant. The customer apprise the developed version of the project and report the further changes is required. At least planning for the next subsequent phases is initiated. जिसका मतलब होता है कि जो भी अपग्रेडेड हो और जो भी न्यू वर्जन आने के लिए आने की संभावना है, तो ये चौथे क्वाड्रेंट में कंप्लीट करते हैं, जो कि प्रोजेक्ट और रिपोर्ट इफ फर्दर दी कुछ चेंजेस हो उसमें या रिक्वायरमेंट में कुछ चेंजेस हो, तो हम चौथे स्टेज में देखते हैं जो भी अपग्रेडेड वर्जन के लिए होते हैं आफ्टर द कंप्लीशन ऑफ दैट प्लान और नेक्स्ट फेज. Then prototype model. Prototype is a blueprint of the software, which means that they will know that one phase after the second phase, which phase will become. So that initial requirements from the customer, they will gather the full requirement, or what client actual want. They will be gathered from that side. Then a prototype, they will be prototype flow that. Then customer, they will be know about that customer also. Then designing, they will be design that software. We can say that after that coding and testing, that things are goes on that prototype. In that advantages of spiral model, the advantages of spiral model are like suitable for large project. Spiral models are recommended when the project is large, bulky or complex to develop. That is, for example, we can say that banking project. Then after the risk handling, there is a lot of project that have unestimated risks involved with them. For such a project, that spiral model is the best SDLC model to pursue because it can analyze risks as well as handle that risks at each phase of that development. Then customer satisfaction. That customer satisfaction can witness the development of the product at every stage, and thus they can let themselves aptitude to the system and throw फीडबैक अकॉर्डिंग देयर फाइनल प्रोडक्ट इज मेड. जो भी कस्टमर होता है वो अपना प्रोडक्ट आने से पहले ही उसको अंडरस्टैंड कर लेता है, जो भी उसमें जो भी चेंजेस हो तो अपने हिसाब से या जो भी स्टडी करके वो अपने फीडबैक देके वो बता देता है कि ये प्रोडक्ट ऐसे ऐसे होना. सो इसका फीडबैक अकॉर्डिंग बिफोर द फाइनल प्रोडक्ट, उसका जो मेन प्रोडक्ट बनने के पहले ही उसका जो फीडबैक जाता है उसके अकॉर्डिंग टू ही वो प्रोडक्ट बनता है. देन रिक्वायरमेंट फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी. All the specific requirements needed at the later stage can be included preciously if the development is done using the model. Disadvantage क्या है ये देखते हैं. In that disadvantage of spiral model, requirement changes are not allowed in between the cycle. Yes, in that because they will be disturbed, or we can say that requirement will not adjust for that prototype 1, prototype 2. So they will be not allowed that requirement on each and every prototype cycle. Then every cycle is a spiral model, looks like a waterfall model. There is a no testing in the requirement and designing phases. does not work for smaller project. It can be quite expensive also. अगर आपको मेरा वीडियो अच्छा लगा तो प्लीज़ लाइक सब्सक्राइब एंड शेयर। हम नेक्स्ट वीडियो में रैग मॉडल देखेंगे। आज के लिए बस इतना ही। थैंक यू फॉर ऑल। प्लीज़ सब्सक्राइब और लाइक माय वीडियो।